Hello everyone! Today we are going to talk to Michael Shubin, former head of mobile marketing at ABBYY. Today Michael is a prominent Apple Search Ads consultant and I really can't wait to ask him questions about this promising channel. Hi Michael, welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Hi Lina, thank you for the invitation. I'm glad to meet you guys here today.
Could you please shed some light on your almost 10 years of experience as a head of mobile marketing at ABBYY? That's really a huge period of time. And I've heard you made really great progress in terms of growing ABBYY mobile apps business. Is it true? And if so, which role did Apple Search Ads play in this success?
Yes, we have started in 2009 from first apps for Symbian and Windows Mobile. And that time, in early days, we knew almost nothing about mobile apps marketing. It was a totally new thing for all of us. And we started to experiment. We have run a lot of experiments. I have started as a mobile marketing manager, and then it was almost nine years as a head of mobile marketing. It was a really long way with a lot of experiments, and I think we eventually built a pretty sustainable business based on ABBYY mobile apps, thanks to our work and thanks to ABBYY technologies, great mobile optical character recognition technology and other technology which work inside mobile apps. In terms of Apple Search Ads, it was started in 2016, and since maybe early 2017, it became one of the most important user acquisition channels for ABBYY mobile apps. Mm-hmm. Most of all, I think because it's a great way to acquire high-intent target users. You know that nowadays competition in organic search results is very tough, and it's really difficult for many players to get on first and second position in organic results. But at the same time, on the third position, there is very few traffic on third and lower positions. Apple Search Ads allows to get presence on App Store for all players who have good enough and relevant enough apps. I think it's a great chance for all developers, including indie developers and others who may not have large budgets on user acquisition. And it's also a great way for users to discover great new apps. That's why I think Search Ads played a good role in growing ABBYY mobile business, and it actually helps the industry in a whole.
Yeah, thank you so much, Michael. And by the way, what do you do now after leaving ABBYY? And of course, what's next?
Actually, it was not an easy decision to leave ABBYY mobile team after 10 years of working for that company. And I have just decided not to waste a lot of time on unnecessary regrets about that. So in the early morning after my last day at the company, I started to work on some new ideas, and eventually I have become a Search Ads consultant. So at the moment I focused 100% on helping customers to start, automate, optimize, and scale their Search Ads campaigns.
Okay, and speaking of these campaigns, could you please name top three cases when you managed to achieve really great results with Apple Search Ads?
Yes, I think in most cases, good results are a good combination of, first of all, product, also keywords and bids. And if you combine all these things, you probably can get a decent amount of traffic at very good price. First example would be the installs going by the price from 40 cents CPI in the United States. Another examples may be about lowering CPI for search ads campaigns, when we managed to lower CPI 2 times with the same volume of traffic. And another interesting example is about discovery campaigns, because there were a few examples of discovery campaigns driving thousands of new search terms for the app. And this process continues. So these discovery campaigns still drive new and new search terms relevant for the app. I think most of these search terms would never come to our mind without discovery campaigns.
That's really pretty impressive.
Yes, I agree.
But I've heard about a lot of cases when publishers started with Apple Search Ads, but then unfortunately they gave up on the channel. I think this could be due to some mistakes. So could you please name the most common mistakes publishers make when working with this channel?
You actually have a great article on that named 7 Deadly Sins of Search Ads Marketers. And I don't have much to add, but maybe just one or two things. I would mention here, first is keeping daily caps too low. I mean, when your search ads campaigns every day stop working just because they go to their daily caps, then you probably may lose money, just because if you don't want to spend a lot of money on a specific campaign, you better probably lower bids, and thus you can get the same number of installs but for the lower price. And eventually, I believe everyone should keep their daily cap on the level which from one hand guarantees that you won't spend too much money on that campaign in a day. From another hand, they are large enough so your campaigns not lose opportunity to get more installs at lower price. And another example of maybe deadly sin of running Apple search ads campaigns is when marketers rename their campaigns and ad groups. Sometimes it makes total mess with performance data on MMP. That's why I recommend never change names of your campaigns and ad groups. If you want to change name, just run new campaign or new ad group.
Great insights, thank you. And as we have spoken about daily caps, let's talk a little bit about bids. How do you think, is there an optimal bid, or is it just a myth? And if it exists, how can you find it?
Actually, the question about optimal bid is one of my favorites, because I have run a couple of tests on that, and in many cases I have seen that for lower bids you can get some amount of traffic. With higher bids you can get maybe more installs, more tabs, but not so much more than you pay for the tab. So eventually there is probably some optimal bid, which guarantees that you get some decent amount of tabs at the best price. And I think it's a good goal for all marketers to try to find that optimal bid. I can only suggest that marketers run experiments with different bids and measure number of tabs and average cost per tab, and to find some optimal bid, or some bid close to optimal one.
So it's all about running experiments, trying, looking for, and you will be able to find it.
Yes, I believe it makes sense to run experiments, because I have seen in many cases in different countries, different storefronts with different apps, that there is something that looks like optimal bid. Great,
interesting, thank you. And what is the minimal budget? I think it will be very interesting to mobile publishers. What is the minimal budget for getting the first results with Apple Search Ads? And what are the other factors affecting?
I don't think that there is any minimal budget needed just to start your campaigns, because you can put low bids and start getting installs with just a few dollars. But in order to measure performance, to understand your ROI and other metrics, you probably need to drive at least 100 installs per each segment.
Okay.
I believe this is total minimum. For example, if you want to test 5 keywords in 2 storefronts, you need, at $1 CPI, for example, you need at least $1,000.
Yeah.
But better to have $2,000 or $3,000 to collect 200 or 300 installs to get more stable results from your tests.
Thank you. I have another interesting question for you. What advice would you give to mobile marketers who unfortunately are afraid to run Apple Search campaigns because of the potential cannibalization of their own organic traffic? What do you think?
There are a couple of advices. Cannibalization exists, so it's a kind of real problem. But we have solutions to it, or some approaches to work with cannibalization. First of all, you should know your organic positions. There are a lot of ASA tools on the market, so you can track your organic positions and identify keywords. For those keywords you have good organic positions. I mean, position number 1, number 2 on iPhone, and probably from number 1 to number 5 on iPad, because of large screen. And for these keywords, I would suggest asking yourself a couple of questions. First question is, do you need to defend your brand, to defend this keyword from competitors? Is it important for you, for your product, to defend your brand? Does your product look similar to your competitors, so people can confuse your product with your competitors? If yes, that probably it would be a nice idea to invest some money into brand defense in spite of cannibalization. Anyway, probably everyone wants to know the exact extent of cannibalization. The only thing I can suggest here is to run tests, is to put on and off your campaigns with possible cannibalization for a week and compare week by week results without changing other things, and to see if there is any uplift from turning off your cannibalization in organics. If there is uplift, that this uplift is actually what you were cannibalizing before. If there is no uplift, that there is no cannibalization.
Thank you, that's great. So you can measure cannibalization level, track the results, and make solutions based on that.
Yes, exactly.
And some publishers face another issue. They are running discovery campaigns. We have spoken about caps. Daily caps are normal, bids are high enough, but like they say, the campaigns just won't scale. What advice would you give in a case like that? And does it make any sense to run ads using branded keywords of indirect competitors?
Yes, I believe it totally makes sense to use indirect competitors, to use some close terms, more or less relevant for your app, because you never know what terms would work better in terms of conversion rates. And also here a couple of more general advice. First of all, I think everyone can dig more and more for new keywords to find new ideas of relevant keywords. And
like in the case, like in the case you've mentioned before.
Yes, like that. And another advice is to play with your metadata on the App Store to try to increase your relevance score. because probably relevance score depends on your metadata on the App Store, on your keywords, app name, subtitle, maybe even description. I'm not sure about that, but maybe. Some say that maybe even it depends on your screenshots. At least your conversion rate depends on your screenshots. So you always have a lot of things to play with. And if you invest some time and money in that, you have a chance to scale your campaigns. After all, you should try creative sets on the search ads, because there you can measure conversion rates from different sets of screenshots. And after all, you can also consider tweaking your product itself to be relevant for some wider audience.
So you recommend tweaking your metadata, screenshots, visuals.
Use creative sets.
Yes, and if you don't want to use A/B testing tools, which are helpful here, you could use an inbuilt tool in Apple Search Ads. Right?
Yes.
Thank you, Michael. To finish up, I would like to ask you, what's your take on the current state of Apple Search Ads, and which issues do you see now, and what trends are you most excited about for this year, for 2020?
Actually, I think that there are still pretty early days for the whole industry of Apple Search Ads. There is still lack of tools to effectively manage campaigns, to automate them, a lack of learning resources, and
so we have a consultant.
Yes. But anyway, I think it's still early days. So from one hand, it's a lack of something, but from another hand, it's an opportunity for those who can enter this market before the competitors.
You should be the first.
Yes. Actually, it's actually a bit difficult to be first at the moment. But some your competitors may be still not running Apple Search Ads or not doing it properly. So you have good opportunity to do it better and to win more auctions and to drive more traffic to your app.
So it's difficult but also rewarding, right?
Yes, exactly. And about this year and plans of Apple Search Ads, of course, I'm not aware of any plans of this system. They don't say what they are going to release in this year, as far as I know, but based on the general vision of how it can develop, I think that we can see some expansion to some markets not yet covered, like Brazil or China and others. And also, I would expect maybe some placements, new placements of Apple Search Ads on some new formats or some changes in the logic, because I think there are something to improve. And also, I hope that they will improve their Search Ads integrated tool to better manage campaigns, because nowadays there are some drawbacks in Search Ads integrated tool in terms of automation and running accounts with some complex structure and so on.
But we have third-party tools.
Yes, exactly. That's where actually SearchAdsHQ does a great job in terms of help everyone to manage their campaigns and to build more complex structured accounts, which eventually I believe helps to win auctions at better price and so on. But anyway, I would expect that Apple also will provide better and better tools, and actually will inspire you to improve your tool to be even better from that. Yes.
Thank you so much, Michael. Thank you for coming to us. This was really great. Great to have you here.
Thank you.